Hey, what's happening? Welcome back to The Ball Perspective. Let's talk. As you guys can see, I'm taking kind of a detour right now for this particular video, and I want to talk about Marshawn Kneeland and more specifically mental unwellness. I know that it is a football subject, but it's more of a human matter. We understand that there is going to be an investigation around the death of Marshawn Kneeland and his apparent suicide. But what I want to get into right now is just to say, listen, if you're going through something, if you know somebody who's going through something, the idea or the concept of going through is to be able to come out on the other side, right? You see, a lot of times we're going through things and we try to do it in silence. We don't want to let anybody know that we're hurting. We don't want to let anybody know that we're in pain. And more importantly, we don't want to let anybody know that we are in need of some help. And men are at the greatest risk. Black men are at an even greater risk because we've been taught to suffer in silence. Historically, men were taught to be stoic, don't show your emotions, men don't cry, suck it up, dust it off, hold your shoulders up straight and get back to it. And all that sounds real good until you factor in that men are also human. No matter what profession we're in, whether it's football, construction, or you work at the warehouse, we all have feelings. We all have emotional experiences, and life happens to all of us. And I specifically want to speak to the factor of sports. I know that we all have a favorite team. Ours is the Ravens. And I know sometimes we can be disgusted, upset, frustrated, pissed off about what the Baltimore Ravens do and don't do, wins and losses, decisions that they make. But it's multifaceted. On the fan front, if this becomes too much, if watching the Ravens, keeping up with content, watching their successes and fails becomes too much of an emotional pull, too much of an emotional weight, unplug. Turn the screen off, move away from the TV, put the phone down, put on something more positive. Because you can only endure so much before your breakdown comes. That's number one. Number two, from a player perspective, when we're talking about players, this is to content creators, fans, and pundits. When we're talking about players, let's make sure we keep it about play on the field. Way too often does it come off the field, the characterization of different players and the descriptions of players, it comes off the field and it then becomes personal. And I've heard multiple occasions where Ravens fans go hard at certain players, but it comes off of the field play and it becomes personal when we start distorting their name, when we start calling them different names, so on and so forth. That then has become personal. That's not about play. You see, if we call a player's play trash, their performance isn't good, that's one thing. But when you start discrediting their name, when you start talking about what happens with them off the field, just like the Ben Cleveland situation, just like the Justin Tucker situation, we kept on, well, not me, but many people kept on reporting on the Justin Tucker issue. And I came on and made a video and said, hey, enough. That's not about ball. Why did I make that video? Because I've been boots on the ground in the mental health space for 25 years. And I've seen the best of people and the best of situations, and I've seen the worst of people and the worst of situations. And when somebody is going through something, especially if they have a public persona, they're going to put on smiles, they're going to put on their best face, but we don't know what they're dealing with behind the scenes. But when things happen off the field, allow those people to heal in private. Because there is no healing or no opportunity for them to heal if People are continuing to beat them up over and over and over in the media. See, social media has given people a pseudo means false, has given them a pseudo license to be critical. Everybody has muscles behind the keyboard. But the reason why you're critical, or the reason why people are critical and insultive and blasphemous about certain things, is because they're hurting too. It's very, very clear when somebody's hurting because you can see it in their behavior. That's why when you hear me talk about John Harbaugh or whoever else I'm talking about, I make sure and say, I'm talking about the professional part of it, not the personal part. There must be a separation, because this Marshawn Kneeland thing, he's one of many. We look at these athletes and we see them get to the pinnacle. They're paid millions of dollars to perform, millions of dollars to entertain us. But when they go home, they're regular people with regular issues just like us. And so let's keep everything commentary, comments about players. Let's keep it about the play on the field. And even more importantly, if you're dealing with something, you're going through something, don't be afraid to get that help. Don't be afraid to let somebody know you're hurting, you're struggling, you're dealing with something. Don't just smoke it away, drink it away, sex it away, because it never goes away. It doesn't go away like that. That's just called suppression. And whatever you suppress at some point rises back up. I know this is not necessarily a football message, but you guys know what I do for a living. I've told you that many, many times. And so when there's a human element to this thing, I got to address the human element first. And so I'll be back in a couple of hours with Baltimore Ravens commentary about the Minnesota Vikings game. But prayers for Marshawn Kneeland's family, the people who suffering with him. And for goodness sakes, people, like, subscribe. Anybody who listens to this video, go ahead and hit like and subscribe. This content needs to get out to more people, because this is the most important thing I've said on this channel thus far, right? Don't be one of those people. Don't be one of those families who comes out after the fact and say, well, they were dealing with something. They were dealing with some mental health unwellness. Because after the fact, after the death, after the murder, after the crime, it's too late. It's always easier to prevent than to intervene. So listen, until next time, I'm Miguel Boulanger. This is The Bald Perspective, and I'm out.